Join us. Circle the globe. The planet is your hunting paradise. And one man will show you the world as you've never seen it before. Danger won't stop him. Nature won't break him or prevent him from doing the impossible. Hunting the earth with bow and arrow. Be there to share this adventure. The ultimate journey for the ultimate shot.
This is and will be the most dangerous animal that most hunters can hunt in Africa. And in today's episode of The Ultimate Shot, you will see not just a buffalo hunt, but you will take part in a bow hunt of this animal, which weighs more than half a ton. The hunt was one of my first meetings with this extremely big and only cloven hoof member of the Big Five. When I drew the bowstring and I aimed the arrow at the bull, standing some 40 yards away, I realized that even if arrow placement was lethal, I could still be charged, attacked, and most probably wounded. This is why I allowed the animals to withdraw. To attack the herd frontally when they knew where we were and what we were was not a good idea. We had to stalk them when they were oblivious to our location. And when the time came, the almost noiseless arrow shot at the heart should bring me my coveted trophy. We followed the herd of bulls, the so-called bachelors group, or Dugga boys. They obviously were not scared, because after a mile and a half, we caught up with them. They had stopped to rest, which was a perfect opportunity for us to approach them unnoticed. I was standing so close to the animal that I could discern the silhouette of its ribs under the black skin, or at least I imagined so. In their lower part, the ribs almost joined together, even overlapped, to cover one another, and of course the vitals. The only chance for a medium-weight bow is to drive a razor-sharp two-blade broadhead between them. With a heavier weight bow, there is at least the possibility of splitting the rib.
This is what the arrow had to go through.
At the release of the over 1,000-grain arrow, flight was straight and true. Both my cameraman John Luton and I were sure that I had hit the heart. But our PH had some doubts because of the little twig the arrow hit just before it struck the body, and he thought the shot was low.
You choose one.
With a wounded buff, we could now put ourselves in one of the 100 chapters written on Black Death. We followed the bloody trail, but we could not find the arrow. We moved extremely slowly and cautiously, and a couple of big bore rifles were ready for any attack by the fearful adversary. I had the feeling that our guides were much more afraid that we would find the animal ahead of us in the thick brush, and the blood trail indicated that we would.
It is, Archie. Oh, man! Archie! Congratulations, Archie.
Good.
Good done, Archie.
Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Where'd it go, man? Look at
Boy, he's a whopper, isn't he?
Look at the boy.
He's something else. Well, thanks, guys. That was a hell of a hunt.
Archie, he didn't go 100 yards.
He didn't.
He didn't go 100 yards.
No. And that arrow had to go right through him. 45 yards.
Oh.
Yeah. And looks like it hit him great, eh? Oh, yeah, look at that. Just missed the leg bone and right through the heart.
There's blood on this side.
The exit right there, just behind the shoulder.
Fantastic. Had to get a hard shot.
Yeah, listen to him still gurgling. Eh?
Well, those,
boy, he's got a great boss, doesn't he?
Well, he did that roar. We could
Same
hear him
arrow?
dying.
With the Zwicky broadhead.
He's still gurgling.
This one's 870 grains. A little bit heavier with the Zwicky on it. But I got Adrian Erickson to sharpen these for me. He's got a lot of expertise over here, so. What a buffalo. Get over here, buddy. Well, that's number one. All right. And we're on our way for to try the 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You, where's you?
Thank you very much. Thus my hunting fever began for Africa's many species of buffalo. And even now, 10 years later, I still remember the pride and joy brought to me by this ultimate shot. At the same time, I was hunting the rest of the Big 5, and the tracks of predator cats that we discovered were very important to me. The buffalo hunt was going on, and we were close to an opportunity that I would double my success. We only had to come 2 more meters to the animals that were resting in the shadows. This time, we were after the world record. I already felt the taste of success when the wind played a bad trick on us and disclosed our presence. We followed slowly after the animals which were moving among the bushes. I didn't know why, but they did not turn and run away and put miles between them and us. They were walking in a compact group. I had almost caught up with them when I realized that maybe I was not the only hunter lurking around. Lions were not a harmless competitor in the thick bush, so I elected to leave the buffs for the day and focus hunting efforts on plains game for the rest of the day. In these relatively open areas, zebras saw us quickly and ran away with lots of noise and a cloud of dust, warning everything of our presence. It was hard for us to find any animals which stood in one place.
That's pretty good jet. Well, 2 for 2, John.
A good shot. Looks like
60 yards, another 60-yard shot. So we're getting some meat. Now it's baiting time for the lion, eh? So we'll see what happens in the next saga of our South African tour.
The zebra is a favorite delicacy for the predator cats, and thanks to their meat, we were able to make an exceptional ultimate shot. But I will tell you about the hunt later. Now, it's get back to the bush and the buffalo, where the smallest act of carelessness might cost you your head or even the cameraman's camera. This is simply beyond belief. We took such great efforts to stalk the buffalo, and they grazed peacefully at the side of the road. You cannot guess where I am going now. It is not what you probably think. I am going to buy beer. I and my cameraman made a bet for a case of beer that I would not be able to approach the giraffe to within shooting distance. The long-necked animals could see above the low trees and brush, and any attempt of mine to get closer, they rushed away. But I managed to win my case of beer. The separate tracks which the trackers followed came together at the river. Here the herd had crossed to the other bank, and despite the unpleasant company of some crocodiles in the deep pools, we had no choice but to cross and to continue the stalk. In his zeal to film, our cameraman had fallen behind us, and almost fell victim to the great reptile. On the other bank, we discovered easily multiple tracks. They followed along the muddy river bank for some time, and then they crossed the sand spit and got lost in the bush. Right there, the surprise was waiting for us. On our way, right on track, a herd of elephants was going for a walk. If we wanted to continue, we had to chase them away. The elephants succumbed to our insistent appeals and retreated, but in the same direction which the buffalo had taken. Now we had to be on guard not only for the buffalo, but for elephants too. Going into the hilly, rough country, the herd had scattered, and now we were following only separate tracks, which was leading us inside the bush. The time was passing by, and the hot sun suggested that it was time already for the herd to stop somewhere to rest. We found the animals scattered among the grass, dry from the sun, lying in the shadow. In this comparatively open terrain, they noticed us quickly and began examining us carefully. Even the smallest movement made by us would make them run away. Bent low to the ground and under the cover of a tree, we managed to come close to the bull, which was big enough. Despite the multiple twigs, the shot was good. I was sure that soon we would find the giant buffalo, and it happened just so. We caught up with it after no more than 200 yards. Seeing the reaction of our PH, you can guess what happened, and after the feigned attack of the bull, we stubbornly continued to follow it. Finally, we caught up with it. Lying on the ground, it carefully watched us. It was high time for me to finish it off, so I shot the second arrow straight into its heart. We found it literally 70 yards away. It managed to go only so far with the arrow stuck in its heart. The trophy was monstrously big. The old animal had taken part in many battles in its youth, and the marks at the bases of its horns were clearly visible. I was very happy because I had repeated the successful hunt for the Black Death, proving that archers were able to overcome every challenge, including this emblematic animal. It is hardly a coincidence that it is put at the base of the Big Five. And now, let's abandon the dangerous game hunting for a while, and let's rush after some fast antelope. When you are in Africa, and you are moving inside the great savannas and the thick bush, your hunter's luck can provide you with unbelievable encounters with trophy specimens that your friends would envy you very much for. But it is up to you only, to your quick reaction and straight shooting, if you want to take pride in that trophy. My next objective was to provide fresh meat for the camp. The helmeted guinea fowl are comparatively big birds, reaching up to 2 feet in length, and they are very tasty in the form of a stew. But the problem is that to bring this bird to your table with the help of a bow and arrow, you have to hit either its neck or the base of the wings when they are spread. Any other hit is doomed to be unsuccessful due to the extremely hard and thick feathers.
Yeah, I don't have a pen for that distance. I'm sitting here with Athol Frelink, who's our host for this tremendous hunt we had in Zambia. And we see the local people here fishing in the river all the time. We've been giving some of our meat, especially from the buffalo, to these people. Yeah.
Yeah, which is greatly appreciated because it's a very dry year, and there's a lot of hunger in the area. So any assistance like that is of a great benefit.
But the hunters do donate meat. All your hunters usually
donate meat,
yeah.
and 50% of all the trophy fees go to the local community.
Okay.
So they do see a benefit. So they have a stake in the area.
The hunger in Africa has always been the main problem in saving wild animal species. No man could calmly watch how his children die from hunger in the hands of their mother, who has not enough mother's milk to feed them. So we just cannot blame the people who hunt to feed their families despite the international prohibitions. The only way is to help these people, providing them a better alternative to the cruel, uncontrolled slaughter of the game for food. This is what hunters do, creating a financial and a material interest in the local people towards the wild world to which they belong. After we examined well the animals in the herd, we let them move on. Inside the big herd of buffalo, there were one or two specimens with enormous horns. The buffalo ran against the wind, and with the speed of 30 miles an hour measured by us, they could be 5 miles away from here in 10 minutes. If the direction of the wind did not change, we would reach them in an hour, and probably they would stop in a certain small valley where the trackers and our PH had seen many times these big animals at rest. We snuck successfully to the herd, but it turned out to be a small group of females and young animals, and none of the giant bulls we had seen were present among them. The hunt was going on. The big herd was somewhere in the bush in front of us, and we only had to discover it. I hope that the trophy specimens we were looking for were still with the rest of the animals. We were lucky to find the bulls before the sun had entirely sunk below the horizon. The herd was enormous. I had not seen so many animals together before. To sneak to them would be almost impossible due to the great noise that the dry leaves were making with our every step. Several times the animals changed places, scared by us. Finally, under the cover of twilight, we tried to come close to them. Following closely one another, I and my PH were trying to resemble a buffalo silhouette. I could not see anything. I only tried not to fall behind him. The buffalo studied us with interest up to the moment when a part of the herd which stood to our right sensed our smell. We were within a hair's breadth of the ultimate shot, but the hundreds of animals were protecting each other. The next morning, the hunter's luck was waiting for us as early as dawn on the road in the form of an excellent specimen of a warthog. The arrows that I had were sharpened and prepared for buffalo, so I did not want to dull them right from the beginning of the day of hunting. This is why one of the trackers offered helpfully to bring me the used arrow. I was ready to shoot if the pig attacked, just as it happened. We had fresh meat for camp and a wonderful trophy even before we seriously began the day of hunting. Its beginning was promising, also due to the fact that we had found tracks of a small group of buffalo which probably consisted only of males. Soon our guesses were proven right. Crawling among the dried branches and leaves, we approached the little herd of Duggaboys. The animals had heard some noise, but they could not confirm anything. The wind blew from their direction, making us invisible to their sense of smell, the sense that they mostly count on. I was at 30 yards from the big bull when I shot. I expected reaction from the animal, but in contrast to the rest of the herd, which ran away in a group, this buffalo made some jumps to the side and, giving out a short roar, fell dead to the ground.
Buffalo is the largest of the three that we've been able to take. I think if you watch this video, you'll see that using the right equipment enables you to take one of the greatest and possibly the greatest trophy animal on earth. Certainly the most dangerous, and proven to be very deadly for some people that aren't cautious with it. But anyway, we've got 3 great trophies, and we had a great hunt, and I don't know where we go from here, but stay tuned and we'll see what the next segment of this Big 5 video produces for us. Only in Africa.
In the next episode of The Ultimate Shot, you will witness the historic first official license issued by an African country for bow hunting, the biggest animal on dry land. Together, we will face the enraged elephants in the Jess of Zimbabwe, and we will run away from this deadly mountain of an animal to escape the certain death of being trampled into the ground. Together, we will establish and protect the right of bow hunters to hunt even the biggest animals on earth. Be there, become witness to this historic ultimate shot.